Senior Research Fellow at the American Institute for Economic Research, and Brandon Arnold is the Executive Vice President of the National Taxpayers Union. So, Paul, I'll start with you. We all know how President Donald Trump feels about Jerome Powell, calling him too late Powell, similar to what we're hearing from him yesterday. Your thoughts and reaction? Do you think this is a fair assessment of Jerome Powell?
Well, it's certainly fair in terms of Powell missing inflation earlier this year. And I think Powell is a little bit gun shy. He had to slam on the brakes because inflation was high. And I think he's a little hesitant to start stepping on the gas again. And President Trump would very much like to see him do that. It'll boost the economy. But inflation isn't quite where Powell wants it. I think he wants to keep his options open. But I think cuts are coming. And the question is whether they come in July or we're going to have to wait till September.
All right. And Brandon, on that point, prior to the hearing, President Trump recently taking to Truth Social yet again to go after what he calls too late Jerome Powell. That's his nickname for him. President says this: too late Jerome Powell of the Fed will be in Congress today in order to explain, among other things, why he is refusing to lower the rate. Europe has had 10 cuts. We have had 0. No inflation. Great economy. We should be at least 2 to 3 points lower. Would save the USA $800 billion per year plus. What a difference this would make if things later change to the negative, increase the rate. I hope Congress really works this very dumb, hard-headed person over. We will be paying for his incompetence for many years to come. The board should activate, he goes on to say, and make America great again. Brandon, bottom line there's a lot of frustration and anger towards the Fed Chair, Jay Powell. Your thoughts on this? Again, he's operating independently, or at least he's supposed to be, but the president is making his voice heard. Brandon, your thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of tough to read between the lines. You get a sense of what Trump is saying, but I think I get the sense that he is not happy with the Fed chair right now. And I get the frustration, but at the same time, we're dealing with a tremendous amount of economic uncertainty, global insecurity as it pertains to the Middle East, though we've seen tremendous gains by the Trump administration in that space, and those will hopefully keep energy prices at a low level, which will, of course, help to tamp down inflation. But until we can hit some of these deals, these trade deals across the globe, and I know those are in the works, until we can lock those in and lower tariffs, I think there's so much uncertainty here that I think some degree of caution is warranted, despite him getting excoriated by the president and certainly some members of Congress as well.
All right, we'll watch for that. Brandon Arnold weighing in and Paul Mueller here in studio. Thank you both, gentlemen. We do appreciate that time. Sorry to bust out a little early. We've got to watch what's happening here at The Hague. We're waiting there.